Okay, so we're just going to continue from where we stopped in the other video. So in conic sections for the parabola, we're going to focus a lot more on um, the parabola itself and all the different points or parts of the parabola. So far, you're familiar with the focus, you're familiar with the vertex and the axis of symmetry and the parabola itself. So we're going to add some more academic words that are part of the parabola. One is the focus, then you have the directrix, and then you have the latus rectum. Right? The directrix is always the line that's outside of the parabola. Now what the parabola is it is a set of points that is the same distance to the focus and the directrix. These two lines are the same length, right? The perpendicular that you draw. A set of such points, so if I take a point here, this length and this length should be the same, right? Such points are the form the parabola, the curve. Now what the latus rectum is it is actually a chord that passes through the focus of the parabola. It is parallel to the directrix. You can see that these two lines are parallel, right? And it's perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So these two are perpendicular to each other, right? So that's what a latus rectum is. Now the vertex and the focus are points, whereas for the latus rectum, the directrix and the axis of symmetry, you're finding equations because they're all lines. Now typically you will be given an equation in the standard form and you have to convert it into the vertex form. Now we have done this previously. You should have notes on it, but I'm just adding the picture of those notes so you can pull that up. You do that by completing the squares, right? You get it from the standard form into the vertex form. So you'll get a problem something like this where you have the question is given to you in standard form and you've been asked to identify A, H and K. So let's do this one. So x square minus 2 times 4x plus 11. So you know what to add and subtract. So you're going to add 16, subtract 16, and then don't forget the plus 11 here. And all this time you got to have y equals, right? So y equals. And now you're going to take this and we can complete the square. So we can write it as x minus 4 the whole square, and then these two, it becomes minus 5. Now go back and remember that the vertex form is a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So you have to rewrite it in this form, which is 1 times x minus 4 the whole square plus minus 5. Now it's going to be easy for you to identify A, H and K. So you know that A is 1, H is 4 and K is minus 5. And that will be your answer. Here are some extra problems for you to do in the blue box, where you have it in the standard form, you convert it into the vertex form and identify A, H and K. Okay. The second kind of problems that you will get, and this table over here is very, very useful. I would recommend that you put this table into the one-page worksheet that you're allowed to write formulas. This would be there for sure. Okay. I'm going to put a star here. All this should be there. Now, what the table is showing us is if you know the value of a, h and k, you can pretty much do all of these things, right? You can know what the focus is, you can know what the equation of the directrix is, the length of the lattice rectum, that is that chord, and then the equation of the axis of symmetry. So let's do this example. I'm not going to do all of them, but then some of them. Again, remember that your vertex form is y equals a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So you got to match it up. So let's see what we have. What's given to us is this. So from that, you know that a is half, you know h is 2, but k should be minus 3. Okay, so don't forget that. Because if you were to rewrite this, it would be plus minus 3. So k is minus 3. Once you have the value of a, h and k, all you're going to do is substitute it. So for example, your axis. Now, see what kind of parabola this is. This is of the form y equals something. So therefore, it's the vertical parabola. Okay, because it's in here is y equals a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So everything that you calculate, the axis of symmetry, the focus, everything is down this column. So that's kind of always important. So you have your vertex, which is h comma k, so that's 2 minus 3. Then your axis of symmetry is x is equal to h, so that's equal to x is equal to 2. And then you have your focus, which is h comma k plus 1 over 4a, so that's 2 times minus 3 plus 4 times half. So you just do the math here and figure out what that point is. And then your directrix is y is equal to k minus 1 by 4a, so that would be minus 3 minus 4 times half. Again, figure out what that is, and whatever that is, y is equal to that. And then you have length of lattice rectum is the absolute value of 1 over a units. So that is the absolute value of 1 over half. And again, absolute value because it's a distance. It can never be negative. That's why absolute value. So you have 2 units. Okay. So once you identify a, h and k, you can do everything else. Now, sometimes the equations are not in the standard form like this, right? So you have to convert them. So you have to first figure out, oh, this is x equals a times y minus k the whole square plus h. So if you refer to the table, now this is the horizontal parabola, not the vertical parabola, but it's the horizontal. So you have to go along this column now. Okay. So that's very important to identify which one it is. Is it a horizontal parabola or a vertical parabola? And so then you divide by 6 and you get it into the correct form. Once you have a, h and k, you're going to do the same thing that we did before and find out all of the rest of it. The third kind of, or the yet another kind of problems that you're going to get is where you're going to be given the focus, the equation of the directrix, and what you're asked is the equation of the parabola. So it's the other way around, right? So far we've been given the equation of the parabola. Now you're going to find out the equation of the parabola. In this case, the first and foremost thing you want to do is identify whether it's a horizontal parabola or a vertical parabola. So you look at the equation of the directrix. Right? The equation of the directrix is y equals 4. So if we look at the directrix here, y equals 4 it's a vertical parabola. So we're doing everything down this line. So first of all, the equation should be of the form y equals a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So identifying that is the first step. And then you find out everything else. Okay? And how do we find out everything else? Let's see. So the equation of the directrix was y equals 4. But we know the equation of the directrix is k minus 1 by 4a. Now y is equal to 4, y is equal to this, so we can go back to your systems of equation where you could equate the right hand side if the left hand side is the same. So 4 equals k minus 1 by 4a. So that's one equation. We can't still solve it because you have two variables and one equation, right? You need a second equation. But we also know that the focus is 8, 0, right? And what is the focus? It's h, k plus 1 by 4a, right? It is this one, right? So your h is 8, and then the second equation is 0 is equal to k plus 1 by 4a. So now this becomes your second equation. So now let's work with these two. Your first equation was what? 4 is equal to k minus 1 by 4a. And I can do that k is equal to 4 plus 1 by 4a. Here, in the second equation, I had 0 is equal to k plus 1 by 4a, which implies k is minus 1 by 4a. Again, if you do the systems of equation, you have k is equal to this, k is equal to this. So therefore, I can say that minus 1 by 4a is equal to 4 plus 1 by 4a. So I subtract on both sides. I will get minus 2 over 4a is equal to 4, and I multiply by 4a on both sides. So minus 2 is 16a, and then I divide by 16 and I get a is minus 1 by 8. Now I'll substitute it back to get the value of k because I know that we'll take the easier of the two, right? K equals minus 1 by 4a. So then k equals minus 1 by 4 times 1 minus 8. So that's equal to 2. So I have a is minus 1 by 8, h was 8, and k is 2. So once I have a, h, and k, no problem. I know the equation should be of the form y equals a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So y is a times x minus h the whole square plus k. So I simply substitute everything that I know, and that is my final answer. That is the equation of the parabola. So this is the yet another kind of problem that you will get. Okay, so I have some practice problems for you. You can work through them and then you'll be good to go.